Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hi Scorpio and Mist and Draken as well. Yeah, so today we're going to do some Phantasy Star Zero because I realise it has been a little while since we've done it. So we're going to do some Zero today. We will be doing multiplayer sessions if anyone wants to join. My friend code is on screen. So if you do want to add my friend code on there, you can add that. I think as long as at least one person in the party knows someone in the game, you should be able to join. So if we do get more than 4, we'll try and rotate around just to make it fair. Hi, Disaster. Good to see you. Yeah, I was just saying on YouTube before the stream started. Yeah, I've been very, very lost in Pokemon Pokopia the last few days. I have put far too much time into that game than I want to admit to. Right, that is fine. Hey, Pika, good to see you. And Zale as well. Right, hopefully this still works. Be ready to play in like 20 minutes, still waking up, no worries. I know Minsk said that he's probably going to be about half an hour as well, so yeah, we'll just see who we can get, and like I say, we can just rotate if we do get more than 4. I can't remember if we played last time or not, Akima. If we haven't, you might have to get my friend code and I might have to get yours before you can join, but we can sort that out. That's not a big deal. Yeah, so Zero, we don't do it that often, but I thought it's been a few weeks since we've done it. So why not? Did my friend code change? It shouldn't have done. I did check it on the in any actual game and it seems to be the same as the one on screen. Has anyone's friend code changed? Because that might be the reason. I mean, I haven't started the game yet, so let me actually form the party and then see if you can join then. Yeah, so party's up now, so try joining now. Yeah, Jack trying to jump the gun, trying to get in before the party was even up. Yeah, hopefully that works. If it doesn't, it could be if any friend codes have changed. I did check mine just before I started though, and it seems to be the same one that's on the stream. There we go. Hi, Lonely Harmonia, good to see you. Yeah, we do play Phantasy Star Zero now and again. So I will give it a couple of minutes in case everyone else wants to join in. And thank you for the follow as well, Harmonia. Much appreciated. Zale's in. Apparently that brings me to 350 followers on Twitch, so thank you for that. Can I join? Has your friend code changed or anything, Pika? If it hasn't, you might be able to maybe join if you've got Draken or Zale's friend codes. You might be able to join off them. We need to find Yona Hati for Sky. You need to patch your ROM, Akim. Oh, no worries. Yeah, we're doing this for about 3 hours anyway, so there's time to fix stuff if you need to. Yeah, Harmonia, we play Zero now and again. I'd say I mainly play PSO of the Phantasy Star games, but I do kind of bounce between a lot of different ones. So I'll give this another minute or two, and then if there's no fourth, we can just start. Yeah, PSO is great. I play a lot of PSO. Rip PSU. I mean, PSU is really good as well. I play PSU as well. If it has Phantasy Star in the name, I'd probably play it. Apart from Idler, because that's kind of impossible. RIP PSO2 base. Yeah, I mean, maybe next time we do PSO2, we do base. Because I did NJS last time, so. I like the PSP games more. I like the Cease Forest chat there. The thing is, I don't know if I can check your friend code from here. I don't know if the game lets me. What I can do is if you can't join, I can start the party. Then I might be able to check your friend code from there, maybe. Good with PSP 1 and PSP 2, so you have a preference. PSP 2 in particular, I really like. Have you played PSP 2 Infinity, the Japanese one? That is really, really good if you haven't. Yeah, I will. I think I'll start this and then I'll see if I can look at Pika's friend code from in-game. Because I don't think I can do it from here. Even dabbled in multiplayer with them. I'm like, oh, nice. Yeah, Infinity's super good. Move my PC to another location and completely different connection and everything, and it still works. Just join like nothing happens. Well, first of all, is it really a zero stream if we don't do this? What's the minimum level to join? Level 6, apparently. Turns out I lost my save and had a regression. Oh, no. I mean, if anyone has any low-level stuff, or if there is low-level stuff we can do, we could always do a low-level run later on. Because I do have a very, very low-level formal. Does the game have sound? No, for some reason the DS audio has switched to another device. Give me a second. I can fix that. That is an OBS-related issue. Hopefully you can now hear it. It is coming through on my end, so hopefully it's you can hear it now. You let me know when you get it working. Yeah, no worries. That sound now nice. Alright, unsurprisingly, my item pack is more or less completely full. Nice. I think I need about 1,000 more storage in this game. It is ridiculous how little storage I have. Oh god, everything is just full. Right. The amount of storage you get in this game is just not fair. Just like PSO Baby. The thing is, in PSO Baby, you have what? Obviously, your inventory and character is really small. But then your storage is what? Is it 200 or 300? This you have 100 storage and 100 joint storage. You get more inventory if you complete tower in normal and super hard and hard. Yeah, that's quite a bit of work. Hey, brilliant. Good to see you. I mean, it doesn't help when I've got level 5 weapons with me. I think I can afford to sell those. I don't know why they're there, to be honest. Or why I have 5-star armors. I get rid of the 0 slot one for sure. To be honest, I'll get rid of the other one as well. There'll never be enough storage for a hard like me. Yeah, the problem is I'm a bit of a harder as well, so... It just doesn't give you much storage to play with at all. It doesn't help when I've got like a million different mags and everything. I've got stacks of stuff here. That's fine. We'll have to roll with it. It took me several days on normal alone as a force. Yeah, it's just because of how many floors tower is. Like, even in the lower difficulties, it's still going to take you a while to get through all the rooms. I know there's some rooms you can skip, but yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do there, so... I'll just roll with it. So, just quickly let me check something for Pika's friend code. I want to see if I can check that here. No, so I can only check the people in the game. It is weird that Pika just couldn't join when everyone else has been able to fine. So, I wonder if your friend code has changed or something, Pika. Because obviously Zale and Drac have been able to rejoin fine. So what I'll do is, I know you posted your friend code in chat. Let me grab that and I will add that next time before we change game again. Needs to be before you join or make a party to check friend codes, yeah. Is playing on my new PC affecting the emulator? I don't know. It's just odd that you can't join and everyone else has been able to. We could do a Dark Shrine or Eternal Tower. I'm just thinking while we've got 3 of us. I mean, it's up to you guys. I can either remake the party, I can add Pika's friend code, see if Pika can join. So we've got 4. It's just odd that Pika's the only one that can't join. Hey Marco, good to see you. You guys can go, are you sure? Still level 50, okay. Well, I guess we can do some Eternal Tower if you want. Just try and do a few floors of that, see if we can get anything. Quick 10 floors, nice. Yeah, we can do that. Right, I think it was this one. Yeah, and remind me before I play this next time to really sort my storage out. You can debuff, okay. I have deband, so I can sort deband out. Alright, now to remember how to play Zero. Yeah, so for those who might not have seen it before, normally you can't do this quest multiplayer. Yeah, we may be using a mod to enable multiplayer on this quest. Yeah, just attack the bomb, that works. Sure, I'm gonna switch weapon actually. I love the rifle. I always forget how short the debuffs last in this game. I didn't even see what I picked up there. What was it? But yeah, just in case you haven't seen this game before, this was a Nintendo DS game. Launching, I believe it's about 2008, 2009. For a DS game, it should age very well. I mean, I will say this is quite upscaled. So I'm running this at significantly higher resolution than it was on the actual DS hardware. But I think because of the art style and everything for it, it doesn't age too much. I think if they went for like a more realistic kind of graphical style, then maybe it would have aged more poorly. But because they've got this like more kind of cutesy cartoon art style, it has held up pretty well. Looks pretty good even on the DSi and 3DS, yeah? It's a bit of a sleeper game, I guess. I mean, I've mentioned this before, but this is one game I never got to play when it released because I didn't have a DS at the time. I played PSP and PSP2 instead of PSP instead. But yeah, I do kind of feel this game was a bit slept on. It is like a remarkably fully featured game for a DS game, honestly. And like pretty much every Phantasy Star online game, it's still got online capability because of the fan base. Because we will not let any of these games die, apparently. Oh, someone leveled. Wasn't me. I still don't know how people have the patience for this quest solo, though. Like, it must have taken forever. I just don't know what possessed them to make the tower 100 and odd floors. Like, even if it was, say, 50 floors, that would have been more acceptable, but it just feels ridiculous the amount of time you have to spend. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch weapon again. As much as I like Rika's Claw, claws just feel a bit awkward to use in this sometimes. Kind of depends on the fort and art they've got, honestly. What else have I got? I mean, daggers always work. Thank you for the barons. The tower lasts longer than the DS battery, yeah, pretty much. Squidward is back, yeah. We'll probably do Squidward at some point during this. Feels like we have to. Yeah, I imagine if you're playing it on DS, you probably have to do so much of tower. And then I guess stick your DS on charge with the game still on and just wait for it to charge before you can finishing it. I wonder if I can find a copy of this. I don't know how it is where you are, but I know when I've looked up for copies, it's not too bad to get hold of. The only saving grace is that each room is just one fight. The slight issue though, and the slight part where it's a little bit disingenuous is it says it's 101 floors, but each floor has a few rooms. So it's probably like, what, 400 or 500 rooms? Yeah, so this says we're on floor 2 at the minute. Okay, so this is the start of floor 3. So we get one room. And of course we get these surfboard guys that I can't stand in any game they're in. Okay, so we'll clear that room, so still floor 3. So then you would think you would go to floor 4, but it doesn't, it stays on floor 3. So you have to do several rooms to advance one floor. Which just seems unnecessary, honestly. That's it, yeah, it's more just tedious. I mean, it does get pretty difficult further up as well because the enemies do get a bit stronger as you go. Particularly on the high difficulties, anyway. Wait, that room was just one enemy? I mean, fair enough. I guess they're wanting to give you something to sort of work towards as like a long-term goal, I suppose. But yeah, if you're doing it to try and get the increased inventory, then it's a bit of a task really to finish it. Yeah, the way the rooms are set out is just kind of weird. Sometimes you get loads of enemies in a room, and then other times you'll get one enemy. Such as this single monkey. I always forget how strong they are. A singular monkey, exactly. He is packing heat, yeah. Hi, remote, good to see you. You made it this time. Using 3 divine powers. Hitting 400 on range weak enemies, nice. $100 guys versus 1 gorilla for real. Hey, but I'm good to see you. What floor are we on? So we're just doing a quick 10 floor run, just because Pika was having some issues getting in. So we're only on floor 4 at the minute. We're just doing it to floor 10 and then we'll probably do something else. How's the PS0 coming along? Yeah, not too bad. We're just doing a bit of a Eternal Tower to start, and then we're going to switch it up and see if anyone else wants to do stuff. Jump right into tower. I mean, doing a 10 floor run's not too bad. I honestly have no idea, Akama. I don't know how it would work. But yeah, I looked and it's actually been a long time since I played Zero. I didn't realize how long it had been. I guess we do have quite a few different Phantasy Star games that we cycle between, so kind of makes sense that it's a little while. It's definitely hard being a Mac user sometimes. Yeah, I've always used Windows, which I was kind of fine with until recently. I feel that particularly in recent years, every Windows update feels like more problems. I've considered using Linux now and again, but it's just the thought of actually to sort everything out. I've been told by several people that it's really not that hard to do, but yeah. Hi, Nightcrawler, good to see you. Unfortunately, it doesn't just feel like problems. No, it very much is problems. To the point where now, whenever I get Windows Update, if everything works okay, it's kind of a miracle. I'm actually surprised. I love that Ranger and PSO is futuristic and cool, and in Phantasy Star Zero it's just yeehaw partner. Yeah, the Ranger aesthetic in this game is interesting for sure. Arthur Morgan moment. I always forget that you call your range Arthur Morgan. There's none better than Stanley. I do really like with HUnewearl when you get it where an enemy just cannot hit you. I do really like that. If Windows 12 had any form of subscription requirement, I'm switching over completely to Linux. I wouldn't blame you. Honestly, what annoyed me the most back in the day was when they launched Windows 10 and they told everyone plainly that this will be like the final version of Windows and it'll just get updated. You'll just continually get updates. You don't have to buy another operating system again. And they're like, oh, by the way, we're doing Windows 11. I'll never forgive them for that. But yeah, as I was saying just before the stream started, I have been very, very deep into Pokemon Pokopia the last few days. I got Switch 2 last week after much deliberation, and I have not been able to put Pokopia down. Except for when it needs charging, because my god, the Switch 2 battery life is terrible. But I don't know what it is about that game. I just cannot stop playing it. It kind of reminds me of when I got a Switch during COVID and played Animal Crossing. Maybe that Metopia. Is that the... I can't remember the name of it now. I know which one you mean, yeah. Maybe I could check that out. Just stream that instead. Yeah, instead of playing Phantasy Star today, we're going to play Pokemon Pokopia. I mean, on the Wednesday streams, obviously, I'm finishing off Front Mission. And I'm a decent way into Pokopia now, so it'd be kind of weird to just switch over to that now. It's a really fun game, though. I'm actually surprised how good it is. Probably because Game Freak didn't have a whole lot to do with it. That's probably why it's good. Any idea what you're streaming after Front Mission? I've got a couple of ideas. I haven't committed to one yet. One option is Chrono Trigger. So I've never played Chrono Trigger, and I bought it on a sale recently, so that is one option. I know it's like hailed as one of the best RPGs ever, so I feel I should probably play it at some point. I know there was the Trails in the Sky games as well. I am kind of interested in those. It'll be an RPG of some description for sure. Play it and then say that Phantasy Star 4 is better. I mean, all I'm saying is it's got a hell of a hill to climb to beat Phantasy Star 4. You have to disagree with Drac. I mean, I know Chrono Trigger's always hailed as one of the best RPGs ever made, or one of the best games ever made, so I am interested to see what it's like. I've only seen very small bits and pieces of it, so I don't even know why I didn't play it when it released. Normally, if I haven't played a game, it's usually because PSO was in the way. But I can't really blame that on PSO. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a SNES, so that one helped. I had a Mega Drive when I was a kid. I was very much a Sega kid. Trails has quite a few games. Yeah, I remember you linking me to a list of them. I did see actually there was a news article fairly recently where they were saying that I believe the Trails games are ending. I think that the next game they were saying is probably going to be the last one, but the next one's not until about 2031, I think it was. But they said that would be the last title. Yeah, 2031, yeah. I mean, I don't blame them. It's been going for decades, so... I think he's set on Chrono Trigger. I mean, that's one option. There is a couple that have been circulating around, but... I would honestly like to play some of the really early Final Fantasies as well. Like, pre-Final Fantasy VI, because I've never played any of those. You want to get into the .hack games? Yeah, that again is another franchise I've never touched. There's a new one coming out though, isn't there? I'm sure they advertised one fairly recently. Will not be a JRPG, but I would recommend the game I showed you the other day, Into the Breach. Yeah, Into the Breach looks really fun. And then see why I recommended it. Doesn't need to be only JRPGs. Yeah, for sure. I've said it before as well, but again, at some point I do want to play the Phoenix Wright games. I have played some of those in the past, but I want to play them again at some point. Yeah, Skies of Arcadia is another one on the list. And that guy had like the 200 IQ dodges. Finally allowed to revitalize .hack without Bamco's interference. Absolutely Phoenix Wright. Yeah, Phoenix Wright's so good. I only do have limited experience with it though. I've played the first two and a bit. I don't think I ever finished the third one. And I haven't played any of like the Apollo Justice games or anything like that, so... Another was the Edgeworth game that released not so long back as well. But yeah, what I'm saying is there's a lot of options. Well, not so long back, I mean. It was redone. There was a re-release, I believe it was. And the original was a while back. Not going to be able to get this working today, sadly. We'll see if any of my friends can help me patch my game. And I guess next time the higher level. No worries. I know it's a bit finicky getting this working, so yeah, no worries. You know we tend to like rotate the Phantasy Star games anyway, so... You can probably kind of figure out what I'm going to play on a Sunday, because just look at a Phantasy Star game I haven't played for a bit. And it's probably that. Unless it's a Fania Rare Drop week, in which case it's PSO. I'm gonna go hard during the Easter event. I definitely want to play. I mean, I still need to unseal the SGS as well, so... Congrats on the level. Yeah, Nova is on the list of games I still haven't played. Again, I do want to do that. That's still one of the very few that I need to do, as well as the weird Phantasy Star 2 text adventures and Gaiden and Adventure. There are a lot of Phantasy Star games. I still need to look into as well if Gaiden and Adventure even have English patches, because that would make it easier to play them. SGS, I should very much like to hold it. Are you going for an SGS in the Easter event? I mean, speaking of insane stuff on Affinia, I know it was posted on my Discord, but yeah, someone on Affinia, for those who didn't see, found a max stat red ring. As in max defense and max evade. It was not me. When you play, been trying real hard for Heaven Punisher. Yeah, I kind of want to go for Heaven Punisher at some point. I will say, I hope that whoever got the max stat red ring, I kind of hope they keep it. Because it's the kind of drop you're just never going to see again. But yeah, you could get tons of... I mean, you could keep your entire account out for it easily. But I think for how rare that is, the chance of getting a max stat red ring drop is just ludicrously rare. So I think if it was me, I'd probably just keep it. It's kind of the same deal with my SGS. I mean, I know the SGS is only worth like, what, 200 or so? But I would never trade it for obvious reasons. Yeah, Draffy, I dread to think what the math is on that for the chance of that drop. Because with Red Ring, it's got a very wide stat variance. I think it's about an 85 defense variance it can have, and about, is it 25 evade it can vary by as well? And then on top of that, obviously, the chance of just getting the thing to drop, which is hard enough. I mean, it's got to be up there for one of the rarest drops on Affinia. To be fair, it's probably that. Mist's multiple Psycho ones. Zale's ridiculous Psycho 1 drop. They're probably all up there. Watching via the Wii U now, since I ain't getting the game working, I figured I'd be silly instead. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you're probably the only person watching via a Wii U. I think that's a fairly accurate statement to make. I'm here for it, though. It does feel like almost any console that you can watch YouTube on, though, has just a horrible experience. Same for Twitch as well, to be fair. If it looks stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. Exactly. Working on turning an old DS into a homebrew machine, it'd be much easier to play this on that. I think it'd be a nice experience just to play it on a DS as well. For sure. I mean, it was designed for that, wasn't it, originally? But yeah, I was debating whether to get a Switch 2 or a Steam Deck, and I know the Steam Deck's really, really cool, but I looked at my library of Steam stuff and I thought, there's not many games on my Steam list that I would prefer to play handheld, generally. Because I've got a comfortable chair here anyway, and most of my games I would rather just play at my PC, to be honest. I know there's like a big homebrew scene and everything for it, but I'm not against getting one in future, but not yet. Wish it wasn't so expensive, but I do kind of want to switch to. Yeah, that was the downside. It was pricey. Although at least I could actually get hold of one, unlike the Switch 1 when that was out. That was a nightmare to find. Hey, Peter, good to see you. It is Phantasy Star 0. It is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well as well.
Pizza Made just subscribed with Prime. 2 months, yay.
No, thank you for the resub, Pizza. Much appreciated. Grinds in Arena on the Front Mission 1 remake on the Steam Deck. I could never get into the Front Mission 1 remake, but yeah, for some reason I just massively prefer 3. But... Alright, where have you gone? I forgot how much I despise these bosses. The music in this game still sends me. It's got some really good music. This may be not so much one of them, but... I don't actually know if I've fought the Force Mother one before. I feel like I did nothing there. I was here in spirit. I was moral support. Got nothing, yeah, so... We all need a cheerleader sometimes, yeah, and I'm happy to fulfill that role here, because I'm not doing anything else. Got nada, yeah, so... Oh, do I need to cancel the quest? I probably do. Yeah, I think what we'll probably do is we will probably remake the game, I think, and then if anyone wants to fill the 4th slot, they can. I'm not paid to know. So just to make it easier for the multiplayer, basically, it's a lot easier to do it through emulation. So also doing it this way, I can upscale it as well, so it looks a bit better. Yeah, run it at the DS native resolution. Doesn't look that great when it's blown up. Alright, I guess what we can do is we can try remaking then and see if we can get a 4th. What I'll do, Pika, I will add your friend code and see if it works. 10 polygons. I'll never get tired of this. I love the graphics in the game. I really like the graphical style. I like the sort of cutesy style it's got. Right, what I will do, let us remake this. Kind of feels like it was ahead of its time. I think it was so different to everything else as well. I was saying a bit earlier, but I feel like that's one reason it's held up as well, because with this kind of art style, it's kind of timeless. Right, so let me go and add Pika. What I'll do is I'll just go to a Be Right Back screen quick, just in case it shows other people's friend codes. Okay, sorted. So hopefully Pika will be able to join now. So I have added Pika's friend code. Shared away in Discord to more safer play online than the original hardware. It works pretty well for me when playing Pokemon and Metroid Prime Hunters online on my DS. I'll look into that, because I know that was the main reason that a lot of people didn't want to use original hardware, because of these security issues. So if there is a way to get around it, that makes it a lot easier. You're bringing HUcast Demolisher of Heaven's Class. Yeah, why is HUcast always busted? Also, yeah, why can HUcast use rifle? Right, so I will make another party. Party's up. It's in the 0 channel. Ah, thanks for that, Akima. Need to level up your Hugasiel. Yeah, just bring whoever. I mean, obviously we're doing ideally super hard, but as long as the super hard requirement, it's fine. Also, yeah, Pizza, I saw you playing Phantasy Star 2. I'm so sorry you're having to go through those dungeons. I wish I could say it gets better. The game is good, but the dungeons are not a strong point. Oh, he's in. This is how we develop character. I mean, yeah, it certainly developed character, for sure. We take the hardest challenges. I remember, well, I think it was that dungeon that you were doing. There's one enemy in there. I don't know if you ran into it or not. There's an enemy that kind of looks like a cloud. There's one version of it that's really, really weak. And then there's one of it that just spawns randomly and pretty much just one-shots you. The balance is just not there. It doesn't say you're online on my game. I wonder if that's something on your in Minsk, because people seem to be able to join okay. So I'll leave it open another couple of minutes just in case anyone else wants in. Yeah, I would say stick with it, Pizza, if you can. I know the dungeons are really annoying. For me, it was mainly just the parallax effect that was just making it really hard to look at what I was actually looking at on screen and figure out what was wall, what was ceiling. I have zero shame in admitting that I'm playing this entire game with a guide. I don't blame you. I did exactly the same. So when I went through them, for Phantasy Star 1, Draken basically walked me through it. I will give him full credit for that. He basically walked me through the game and told me where to go. For Phantasy Star 2, I started using a actual guide for it. Same for 3 as well. Yeah, 1 was interesting. Yeah. In hindsight, I probably should have had a guide for that, but 4 though, I feel that 4 is pretty easy to figure out where you're meant to go. Oh yeah, I forgot you were doing that. Yeah, you were basically playing Phantasy Star 1 at the same time, weren't you? And like playing along. Yeah, so like Bonk just redeemed, we have 1 more space, if anyone wants in. I know Zale said he was waiting for Minsk, so see if Minsk can join. If not, Zale can jump back in. Didn't the guide have mistakes? It did. It did. You swap to full immune for easy buffs. Yeah, no worries. Minsk just said you can join Zale if you want to. I think Minsk must be having problems getting in. Again, it is very finicky, this game, sometimes, at getting people in. Are you going back to HUcast again? We'll get there in the end. At least the lobby waiting music is popping. It is, it is. They need to update friend code. Yeah, so the friend code is definitely still the same one that's on the screen at the minute. Yeah, Zero has a really good soundtrack. I think my favourite song in the game is still the one that plays in the town. The town music in this game is so good. Also, just a little personal thing. I love the attention to detail with the Zero soundtrack, that it has basically the same artwork as the original PSO soundtrack, just with PS Zero characters. I really like that they did that. Alright, we're in. Cool. The town apparently has several variants depending on the main character's race. I didn't realise that. Have you encountered Coco's hut yet? No, so I think the only rare things I've found, I've run into Rappies before. I've seen the arena a couple of times. I think that's about it. I know there's some very rare occurrences in this game that I've just never seen. Of course the HUcast has the mag, I mean, it fits. Yeah, some of the rare areas in this just seem to never show up. Yeah, we got there in the end. Whole thing goes sorted, Akima. I said we will play this probably in a few weeks' time anyway, so... Right, how dire is the inventory situation? Fairly dire, but we'll have to make do. The next question is, what area do you want to do? Oh yeah, we haven't done Squidward yet, have we? Yeah. Let's do that. That was perfectly timed, by the way. And remind me again, because you know I'm going to ask this. Is it free field or is it quests to get more rare drop? I will remember this at some point. Today's not that day. It's field for RDR, okay. Thank you for the 13-star rare drop. That will continue to make me jump on my skin every time it happens. Oh, we couldn't do hard. I think it's because I think peak is about level 50 something down there. So that's fine though, we can do hard. Hi Adrian, good to see you. You don't remember either if it helps. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Alright, Octopus, let's go. Thank you for the Garons as well. Hi, Magic Arrow, good to see you. Why can HUcast use a rifle? Like, why? I feel that shouldn't be allowed. Cast race, best race. That's why. You're doing 200 on normal attacks. So I'll just let you solo everything then. That's actually disgusting. I do 200 with daggers with hard attack with celeb. That's disgusting. Here, Zero Taker is so cute. Thank you very much. To be fair, you don't have many options when you're making characters in this, but I do my best. The criteria was basically make a HUnewearl, make a purple. That was about it. Yeah, there's only a really limited colour selection, honestly. I can't remember how many is it now. It's about 4 or 5 or so. I know it's not many at all. Oops, someone leveled. Again, not me. Yeah, that sword is it's the Milias sword. I can't remember if it's Milias sword or Milias breaker, that one. I want to say breaker. Yeah, so there is a boss in the game. It's a huge mech that uses that sword, basically. The Gundam boss, as we call it. It's a Milias breaker and she has a Milias frame as well. Cool. You support this. I mean, you kind of have to as a fellow Gundam fan, you know? Speaking of Gundam, I very recently built one of the SD kits. It's a little one of Wing Zero. And I didn't realise how much they cheap out on those kits. They are really, really obvious where they've cut the money on them. It's one like the basic SD ones, not the master grades or anything. I mean, it looks fine, but when you turn it round, the entire back is hollowed out more or less. I'll show you actually. It was reasonably fun. I mean, it didn't take long, but it's that little dude, and he looks okay. But then when you turn it around, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but if you look at the back of the legs, it's all hollowed out. It's really bad. I mean, to be fair, it was very, very cheap, but I can see why. I typically don't buy the SD kits anywhere. Yeah, I went to my local hobby shop and it was like the only Gundam thing they had in, so... Oh, is that to increase mobility? Okay. It's weight saving. I mean, like I say, it was a very, very cheap kit, so I can't be too mad. don't know why I bought it, because I still have a HG kit to build as well. I've literally had this Zaku kit for about 6 months and still in the box, and I still need to build it. I have a problem at this point. Why do I keep buying Steam games when my backlog is so big? Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, isn't it? So the backlog forms, exactly. I'm generally quite good for backlog with stuff like Gundam kits, but I must have just completely forgotten that I had the Zaku kit. I will build it at some point. We all need decor in our bedrooms. Gundam boxes are colourful. Exactly. You have no idea how close to the mark you are there, by the way. I literally, on the floor next to me, have a pile of Gundam boxes of kits I have already built that I should probably get rid of. Love this game. Yeah, I really like it. It took me a while to get into it, but I'm here for it now. Good to see you, Evan, as well. We noticed it was an issue when our cat made it into a makeshift cat fort. I mean, I would just say that you're providing for the cat, you know? You see, the issue I have is, you know, once you build it, you probably know, once you build it, you tend to end up with loads of spare parts anywhere. And, you know, where do you keep those spare parts that you're never going to use? We can only rationalize so much. Solution to spare parts is sandwich bags. The thing is, I do that as well. I do have a box with loads of spare parts in. I think the issue is that I'm lazy. I think that is the core issue here. That I should do though. Yeah, I should use the box images so I know what the parts are for, because I do have a lot of bags with parts in, and I have no idea what they're from. It's not lazy, it's pacing yourself, yeah. That said, I have managed to stop myself from buying more kits recently. That Wing Zero one was one I bought not so long back, but I've been very good at not buying more expensive kits. Oh, that is because I literally have no space. I'll never get tired of the Squidward. Yeah, this guy, we turned him to be Squidward pretty much the first time we played this game, and it's just stuck. I would like to know where his hitboxes are, because he's very offensive for that. I mean, the hitboxes are there somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So he has a hitbox on his head, obviously, but he does have hitboxes on the actual tentacles as well. They're just in really weird places. This guy sucks with AI teammates. Yeah, the AI doesn't really do well in the boss fights in this. Never mind, he's dead. I suppose it is hard instead of super hard, so... Nice level. I'm very proud of my artistic masterpiece. I can't claim credit for that one though. That was someone else. Also, I was going to say report the quest reward. It wasn't a quest, was it? We can do the quest now for Experience Baker. Yeah, no worries. Maybe Shrine or Arca. I mean, we were talking about the mech boss, weren't we? So I guess we could do that. Mainly so we can subject ourselves to the music on the boss. I will say I still really like the look of this map. Really like the design of it. And I now wonder how they did the reflection on this, because I know I think this Guy's Not the Limit did a video about some tricks they used in PSO, where they basically, for the reflective flaws in mines, they basically built another mines underneath it, upside down. And that's how they got the reflection effect. So I'm assuming they maybe do something similar here, maybe. You need to remember the weapon tips that Drac gave to you. Yeah, to be fair, I just hit things in this and hope for the best. Yeah, it's a really nice looking map, this one. It does change quite a bit as you get further in. We tend to find that with Zero maps where the design of the map changes up after a block or so. DS working hard on the reflection effect. Yeah, I don't know how they do it on the DS. Because obviously the DS was not a powerful little handheld, really. I'm gonna... Actually, no, it is different. So if you look at the reflection there, the door there... Or is it the same? Oh, no, it might be the same, actually. No, it is. So it might be another model built underneath the floor, possibly. It's kind of hard to tell. I always found it really interesting looking at the little tricks they use with games to make things work. Which way am I going here? I've got no idea. Yeah, I will say I do always have fun with this game now. I think now I've spent more time with it, I do respect it a lot more. I still need to figure out when I'm going to play Phantasy Star Nova, because I really want to try that out, because that is one I've never played. I don't even know if it's good, but I never got to experience it back in the day, so I really want to try that. Again, it was mainly just because I didn't have a PS Vita, so... And it was Japan only, so that didn't help. I know Kathy just did a video recently on Idler as well. I do kind of want to check that out, because that is another game I never got to check out at the time. I know there's no way of playing it now, so it'd be interesting to see what it was actually like. So I guess this was the short map one, I suppose. Yeah, this will be the Gundam boss that I mentioned earlier. He might not live too long, because it is only hard mode. But this boss theme, man. Sometimes boss themes go a bit too hard. I think this is one of those situations. He's not having a good day. To be fair, we are very, very over level for this. You like the boss music? It's not that I don't like it, it's just, I think because it's quite a short loop, it repeats a lot. Can you please stop chasing me? Force didn't work. Yeah, I imagine Force is really good for this. It actually does a lot of damage considering it's hard mode. Well, we did it. He's a lot more annoying and super hard, to be fair. Oh, I got a millias frame. Yeah, he does a lot of damage. I mean, this was only hard mode as well. You got Eleanor frame. I have no idea what that does, but congrats. I wish I could say I knew anything about this game, but... Has a set bonus with the lower rarity cannons, okay. So maybe something you could use to level a ranger, I guess. More set bonuses seem that way, actually. I guess Rika's is probably an exception, because that requires level 76. You get them with higher level and then try them with new characters, yeah. The shield of the red cast is stylish, but the shield is not a weapon in real life. I wonder why a shield is a weapon in this game. Just an interesting decision they had, really. Just kind of using the shield as an offensive weapon instead. How many slots in the frame? I should check that, actually. 2 slots. It's not terrible. I still hate that with this game, that the armors have fixed slots when they drop, and you can't add slots to them. I just want to know who thought that was a good idea. Like, hey, here's this rare armor. Oh, what a shame, you can't use it because it's got no slots. Shields are cool. Captain America build. Yeah, pretty much. Slot number chance is garbage. The thing is, as well, 4 slots seems fairly rare. Oh yeah, Eleanor Frame has 4 slots. Nice. GG. I guess it balances out the better armors, but it's really lame. I mean, I don't mind them dropping with no slots, but just give me a way of getting add slots. Even if it was, you know, a trade in the sewers or something. Even if it was quite a hard trade to get, I'd be okay with that. But having no ability to add slots to your armor at all is rough. Well, I guess I can load another one. Let's do... I guess we can try Dark Shrine, sure. And I'll do the second one, because that might be the longer one, maybe? Don't know much about this game. Is there anything exciting you're hunting for? Not at the minute. So at the minute we're in hard mode. We're helping Pika level. I honestly don't play a great deal of this game off stream. I guess if I was hunting something, maybe it would be Yonohate, but I haven't really committed to any hunts in this. It's more a game I just play like when I'm streaming, and maybe I'll play a little bit off stream now and again. Oh, someone hasn't accepted the quest reward. Right, let me try again. There we go. It's fun enough, but being locked on the DS is really tough. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, back then it would have been fine because these kind of games work really well handheld anyway. I just feel this is the kind of game that, you know, back in the day you probably could have just, you know, took your DS with you somewhere, you know, on your lunch break or whatever, just like grind out a level. It's that kind of game where you don't really have to commit too much time to it. But then if you want to grind and hunt for stuff, you can. I find it funny that the shrine monsters are like legs. Yeah, some of the designs are weird. You love playing Pokemon in school and stuff. Nowadays it's kind of hard to get someone to play with. Yeah, I was also exactly the same. Yeah, back in school I played a lot of Pokemon Red on my lunch break. Yeah, me and a couple of friends, we all had it, and we just used to do like link battles on lunch. That is aging me tremendously, but there we go. But yeah, some of the enemy designs in this are very, very weird. The leg ones in particular are just really strange. But yeah, you have to remember though, this is a game that has monkeys with guns, so anything goes in this. Bite Sam is insane, it's like over him for claws. Which PA does Rikus have? I can't remember now. Tell if I was looking at the actual weapon. That's Bite Stamp. The only thing I don't like about Bite Stamp is the sort of the hitbox and the range on it's a bit weird. It has quite a bit of a wind up, I guess, like overhand as well. But it does do very nice damage. It's a roll distance ahead of you. I guess I need to kind of think of it as more like a wide lance from PSO2, I guess. And then it's got a little bit of range. But then the actual normal attacks don't, so it's kind of weird. I like that that weapon just looks like a huge red box. I just want to say as well, I said this on another stream, I can't remember when it was now. It might have even been on a Discord event that I said it. But I always said that the Zero streams seem to always pull more people in. And yeah, across like YouTube and Twitch is about 30 people at the minute, so first of all, thank you very much for watching. But it continues to surprise me that people watch Phantasy Star Zero. I guess I am probably the only person streaming this at the minute, but I'm here for it. Yeah, this area is really cool. What I like with this area is that it totally changes the color palette. So you go from having like a really dark area with a light background to having this. This is like an interim area. I love PS0. So you have that little interim area, and then you go into this area where now it's all light with dark looking enemies. So it kind of reverses. I've always liked that. The only downside is that a lot of the enemies here are just essentially dark versions of the previous area. They don't really seem to act much different. This is the bit of a Harrogatan. Yeah, similar sort of theme, I guess, yeah. Never thought of that. It almost gives Nier Automata vibes. I kind of see that. Also, if you like Nier Automata, check out the most recent video I did. I covered some of the creative spaces in the people have made in PS2 NGS, and there is a Nier Automata theme one there. How's the combat compared to PSO BB? So, obviously PSO BB, you basically have your 3 attacks, and you've got, you know, your light attacks, heavy attacks, special attacks. In this, the way it works in this is a little different. So your palette is actually more limited than PSO. You have 3 slots in the front and 3 on the back, but one of them is kind of tied up with a dodge roll. So you do have a dodge roll. But what you can do in this is you have photon arts in this game, and to use your photon arts, the way it works is you basically hold the attack button instead. So if I do a normal attack, that's a normal attack, but if I hold the button, I start charging. I can hold the charge while I'm running around and then release it, and that'll do a photon art. You can get rid of the dodge roll, yeah, for sure. I just don't know how many classes you'd want to get rid of the dodge roll on, because the dodge roll is quite useful. With Force, I could see it because you've got so many options to put on your palette. You can hold charge while recovering dodge frames. So you can charge pace while dodging. Yeah, I need to try and mess with that more often. I'm not at that kind of level. It's been a long time, didn't play PS2 NGS. Yeah, NGS is obviously very, very different. Combat isn't super fast, the loot system is both better and worse. Yeah, so I guess the loot system works different to PSO as well. So, you know, PSO, you kill an enemy and the enemy might drop something. In this, you clear a room and then there'll be a chest at the end of the room that has drops from those enemies. Oh, congrats on the level. So you can see that chest there, that will be drops based on the enemies we killed. The fact that some armor has rolls on slots and that some weapons can roll without photon art is bad. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, you can get weapons drop without photon art, yeah. There are some weapons that have fixed photon arts. My inner rat cries at drops being left behind. The problem I've got, Harmonia, is I showed it at the beginning of the stream, but basically my storage for items is pretty much full. My character inventory is almost full. I need to like do a massive sell-off off stream. So I'm limited to what I can pick up. Yeah, Adrian, I think the open world in NGS is definitely something they moved away from. If you played recently, you'll notice that a lot of the content they've added in the last, to be honest, even in the last maybe 2 years, hasn't really focused on the open world. It has basically revolved around like different quest areas. I think basically, I've said this before on a few streams, but they tried the open world thing and it just didn't work out. You like the open world shim isn't useful at the moment. I think the issue is because the world in NGS is quite big, and a lot of people just didn't vibe with it because it would generally mean you'd have to, you know, hunt around to try and find things. Not everyone likes open world stuff. The problem is that if you do like open world, the world kind of feels empty. Yeah, you've got the animals roaming around and stuff, but ultimately it does feel like a very empty world. So I can see why they moved away from it. I should probably use a trap vision. I'll use one and then no doubt the quest will finish. At worst, NGS is a prototype for future PSO3, so I'm very worried about the future of the saga. For what it's worth, I mean, I don't know when the last time you played NGS was. It has made leaps and bounds forwards in terms of the actual pacing of the game and everything, and things to do. There's still some issues. Also, this is a rare spawn. NGS is in a weird space of too much for PSO2, too little for open world. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I think now, because obviously NGS is a few years in now, they're kind of stuck with it for better or worse. I feel that they are doing the best they can do with it now, and they have improved it a lot. But I don't think anything's going to drastically change until the next game. Yeah, that was the red legs enemies. Yeah, they must have heard us talking about them earlier. I mean, I'll always maintain as well, there is... So yeah, how many traps is there? Jesus. Yeah, I will always maintain that that NGS is really, really good for some people. I mean, for the people who really vibed with the like fashion side of PSO2, NGS is fantastic because there's tons of stuff to do on that side. There is some places it falls down though for sure. Yeah, for me, I'm interested to see what they do with the franchise going forward. I don't know where they go from NGS. I've always said I would very, very much like to have a traditional JRPG again. Not necessarily a sequel to Phantasy Star 4 because I don't think it needs one. I kind of feel it's just the kind of franchise where Sega experiment a lot with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But to be fair, it's kind of a running thing with this franchise. You know, a lot of the games have had a lot of issues. Okay, so that's the melee one. So probably these two I want to take out. What about a beat-for-beat remake of Phantasy Star 4? It would be cool to see if it was done well. But I would be so mad if it was screwed up. Oh, don't start doing that when I've just charged a Fortnite. This fight sucks as melee. Yeah, pretty much. Also, yeah, I didn't think that worked. I think I did the Photon Blast a little bit too late. I still think this is probably the weirdest Dark Falls we've had. Weird dog Dark Falls. Who sounds like that, apparently. Oh, elephant, yeah. Yeah, I guess he's more like an elephant, isn't he? Oh, hey, you dropped garbage, cool. When you think about it, PSU's level design is similar to a lot of roguelikes. PSU's was really, really interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I really like PSU's like system, the way it did the world. And that you had to, you know, do a mission to unlock the next node. I mean, it kind of became irrelevant later because you just got the ability to teleport everywhere, but I kind of liked how they did it. I guess it was so different to PSO. I think PSU Dulfakis is the most faithful to classic games. I mean, I guess the design is kind of close. So obviously PSO's files is very, very different to the classic games. I mean, having said that, I mean, Phantasy Star 4 has, what, 3 different Dark files? I guess they all have kind of similarities, but... I still won't know why they called him Dulfakis in PSU. I don't want to know what happened there. I kind of feel that can't be accidental. Like, there must... It's too far away from Dark Falls to be an accident. And it's just very, very weird. Oh yeah, what level are you at, Pika? If you're still below 60, we can just continue doing hard mode, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. I'm just thinking, do you think it might be an idea to do tower? I know we did it a little bit earlier, but I suppose it's quite a few rooms, isn't it? Yeah, I don't mind doing tower and hard mode if you want. I don't know how you want to do it. Do you want me to load it, or do you want Pika to make it? Oh, does tower need a mod and ROM? You need to have a mod installed to change the first quest to tower. So if you don't have that, we wouldn't be able to do it. If that's the case, that's fine. We could just run some other areas. Yeah, basically the mod that we're using, it basically replaces the first quest. Yeah, we could do Paru, yeah. Because I think even if you open a room, Pika, I don't think you'll be able to run tower multiplayer. Because you probably have to have the mod installed so it allows multiplayer. Okay, remind me, which one is Pyro? Is it this one? So, like, well, it'd be past reprised. Or is it Cave Shadows? I can't remember the names of these two areas. I want to say it's this one. The Green Monica. As far as I know, Dulfakis is separate from Dark Falls in PSU because it's seed form. Because Dark Falls is a separate boss there. Yeah, Dark Falls in PSU was really weird. They just it was kind of shoehorned in. You know, as the weird fish falls, and then they added the second form later, which was just a reskin of Dulfakis. Yeah, maybe it was just because they wanted to kind of differentiate it a little bit between Dulfakis and Dark Falls. It just kind of a weird decision if you think about it though, because Dark Falls is kind of iconic to Phantasy Star. So having a game that doesn't have it is kind of weird. Because Dark Falls only got added in PSU in the expansion. So the base game didn't have it. Oh god, there's a monkey with a gun again. Yeah, I thought I saw you doing 600 plus damage. How can you go online with this? There is a patch you can use. So if you're emulating, there is a way to do it. There is instructions on my Discord, or you can join there is a Phantasy Star Zero Discord you can join as well. There'll be full instructions on there as well. We should all play Pokemon Rumble online. Honestly, I never got to experience a lot of DS games. I just never had one as a kid. I had a PSP instead. Which, to be fair, I basically only used to play Phantasy Star Portable and Portable 2. Oh, I got a pretty parasol. Look out for box drops. It's an obscene amount of PSP and PSP2 growing up, yes. Particularly PSP2 Infinity. Yeah, I grinded the hell out of that game. Might get a mag with a PB that usually doesn't belong to that farm. Oh, cool. I always forget this is the area that has the mags. Like, seriously, who gave the monkeys guns? Who thought that was a good idea? It's amazing that the DS got a good Phantasy Star game. It is really, really good. Yeah, if you've never tried it before, definitely check it out. I have no idea how easy or hard it is to get hold of now. It is a really cool game. Even the story is pretty good. It's not particularly long or anything either, but yeah, it's really cool. I'm never going to say it's one of my favourite Phantasy Star games because it isn't, but I still really enjoy it. It's still kind of insane to me that this released at about the same time as PSP 2. There's maybe like a year or so between them. Just the notion of getting multiple Phantasy Star games within a couple of years is just insane to me now. That would just never happen now. Oh, you got a mag. Oh, nice one. Oh, that was a bit dirty. Putting an explosive behind the wall so you couldn't see it. Wonder how the Japan exclusive Vita game is. So I was mentioning that earlier, the Phantasy Star Nova. That is one of the few Phantasy Star games that I have not played yet. I've heard it's good, but I've never tried it myself. It was a cheeky room, it was. Thankfully, daggers have no range whatsoever, so that kind of saved me there. You really gonna tell me I can't run through there? How do the levels, enemies, gameplay match up to regular PSO and BB? It does play a little bit differently. I mentioned this a little bit earlier on, but the combat system is a little different in that you have a dodge roll and you have Fortnite in this game. So much like Phantasy Star Universe, you have Fortnite, and the way you activate them in this is by holding your attack. So you do a normal attack and you keep hold of it, and when you release, you'll do a Fortnite. And the Fortnite is tied to your weapon, so you don't learn them on your character, they're actually tied to your weapon. Enemies are mostly new enemies. There is a couple of callback enemies, but not many. I like that it took us that long just to get 2 people to stand on switches. I will still never forgive them in this as well for having the explosives be red boxes. Like, you cannot give me a red box in a Phantasy Star game and have it be anything other than a rare drop. Maps are a little bit more varied. Yeah, for the most part. I can't remember offhand how many different maps there is. Try it now. You've got there's the wetlands, there's the canyon, there's this area, there's the cave one, Arca Plant, and Shrine. So yeah, maybe about what, 6? Also, yeah, I hit level 86 apparently. Didn't even realize. Yeah, it'll be about 6 or 8 areas somewhere on that. There are still bosses. There's only a few though, which, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of the same as PSO. But not all areas have bosses. So this area, for example, doesn't have a... Actually, no, this area does. Yeah, this area does have a boss. It's the cave area thing that doesn't. And I think the snow... Oh, there's a snowfield as well. The snowfield doesn't have a boss either. At the end of those, you basically just fight a few, like, of the tougher enemies. A couple of waves of them. Yeah, I have no idea, Charles, honestly, about how the maps are generated. I don't know if it is just completely random or... I'd need to play through the same area a lot to understand, but it does seem different every time I go through. There's like, obviously, there's set room designs. I get the impression it just like generates a random tile set. I know it's with Zero they bothered with scaling puzzles from multiplayer numbers, yeah? Which is something PSO didn't do before Blue Burst. Also, if this is enough to sell you on the game, monkeys can have guns. I've mentioned this several times now, but it never gets old. So if you're interested in playing a game where monkeys can attack you with handguns, this might be the game for you. Some of the bosses are actually quite cool, but some are just as jank as PSO. Oh, for sure. Yeah, there is a lot of jank. I do feel the bosses are varied enough, though. You know, of course you've got a dragon boss, you know, it's a Phantasy Star game, of course you do. I was about to say that orangutan has a pistol. Yeah, it's wild. It's kind of weird that you get these like interim areas where there's just no enemies. It is quite slow-paced combat in this. I mean, I'm using one of the fastest weapons here, and this is about as fast as you can get. Generally, most weapons are quite slow. It is like a very methodical pace to it. But yeah, I would say though, if you haven't played it before, definitely check it out. I think, honestly, if you like PSO, I think you probably like this. There's enough similarities for it to feel familiar. But it's still its own thing as well. Oh, you got a mag. Oh, nice one. I'm still magless. I'm very glad I wasn't over that side. Also, lore-wise, if you're interested in the story in PSO, this is kind of linked. So you probably know if you play PSO that the Pioneer 2 basically escaped from another planet to go and find Ragol. Well, the planet they escaped from was this. So this takes place on Coral. Unfortunately, you have no idea where in relation to PSO it takes place. It feels more like a sequel to PSO than PSO 2 does. I mean, to be honest, PSO 2, I don't really class it as a sequel to PSO. It's very, very different. It kind of does its own thing. It's a sequel to PSO, in my opinion, it's a sequel to PSO in name only, more or less. There are some running themes in it maybe that carry over from PSO, but it's not a sequel in terms of like story progression or anything. Whereas this does have some link. It is very tenuous. It doesn't really talk about any of the PSO stuff in this for the most part. But just knowing that this is the planet that Pioneer 2 came from, it's kind of cool. And also, if you've played some of the classic RPGs as well, there are themes in this from the classic RPGs as well. I'm going to see if you can find a cheap copy for the 3DS. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it, see if you can get one. Also, the story as well. The story actually differs slightly depending on what race you start with. I think it joins up later. But basically your starting areas will be different depending on what race you start with, which is kind of cool. It seems less apocalyptic than I expected given the Pioneer was trying to escape the place. The issue is we don't really know when this relates to compared to PSO. I don't think it really explicitly says the time frame difference. This could potentially take place a long time after PSO. Human start is the hardest because the first boss is the dragon. Yeah, the dragon is a pretty rough first boss. I think with this character, I want to say I think it was the squid for the first boss. Oh, I got a mag. What does it have? "16 guard. Midgull and hungry, apparently. Yeah, guard doesn't seem particularly useful after it. Hungry and Midgull is nice. Damn, so close. if you do grab a copy of 3DS, you can use God Mode 9 to rip the ROM and then patch for tower. Yeah, there is a patch so you can run tower and multiplayer like we were doing earlier. It'd be nice to make into the butterfly wing mag. Yeah, Drac gave me a load of mags recently, so I'm mainly using Sato, or Chato as it's called in this, because it's a PSO mag. But yeah, he did give me, I think, was it Femini? Yeah, that one. That is a really cool looking mag, I will say. However, the Sato has 99 power. Yeah, so the Femini is like a mixture of power and hit, and the Sato is just pure power. Oh, I've just remembered what boss this is. I can't stand this boss. But yeah, 99% power, yeah. I know you can't do 100 on Sato, so... Well, you know you want to go through the fence and get stuck. Oh, so close. You have those wings because HUnewearl looking like a fairy is cute. I get that. Okay, well that ended sooner than I thought it was going to. I guess it was hard mode. He is harder than that normally. Whoa, he dropped complete garbage. Nice. You got black drill. Is that like the drill from the boss? Is that like a spear or something? Or... Some mid-level monster parts are hard to get because you move on to super hard. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I suppose you don't really spend that long in hard, do you, really? Alright, how's the inventory looking? Should I be worried yet? Oh, we're getting there. Yeah, that boss is normally a bit more difficult, Adrian. It's just because we're doing hard mode at the minute instead of super hard. Because we're helping someone level, so... Yeah, just to be careful about what I pick up, I think. Once the stream is done, I will try and sort my storage out. Because it is a mess. In Quest Clear Spam mode, you cycle once per area, basically, and then go to hard mode to turn on tower. Yeah, pretty much. I suppose once you're in hard mode, really, the only thing you want to do is get to super hard, I guess. So if you've got parts that only drop in hard, then yeah, they're going to be a bit more difficult to get because you just don't spend much time there. Also, thank you for the follow, Monokuma. I totally missed that. spent a lot of time moving stuff between characters for the storage, Hunter stuff on Hunter, etc. Yeah, I should do that. I should just make another character, like make a false character, and then make a ranger character, and then I can just split the gear up. Much easier. Right, let's see. So we could do. Let's do the. We do the snowy area, I guess. I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. I've always liked the music in this area. Time to bring the HUcast hunting rifle. I still don't know why they let HUcast use a rifle. It just seems like such a weird decision. I like that I go around the corner and Peek is just blasting rabbits with a huge cannon. Seems like slight overkill, to be honest, but... I'm gonna use a trap vision. Because I always forget to use them in this game. They're actually decent in this game. Yeah, it feels very unnecessary just absolutely annihilating these rabbits. Thank you for the PSA burst.
Just raided with 33
Oh, thanks to Raid Dilly, much appreciated. And hello, Raiders. Why is there rabbits as enemies? It's cute rabbits. I mean, they can give us some cute enemies, but it does feel very unnecessary killing these. Hey, good to see you, Dally. Hope you're doing well. We're basically just doing some hard mode in Zero to try and help someone level, but yeah, I don't play this that often, but have a lot of fun with it when I do. The amount of innocent wildlife you smoke in PSO is wild. Were they innocent though? All I'm going to say is they were aggressive when I got there. Maybe that's the same for these rabbits, I don't know. Yeah, for those who are just coming in with the raid, so this is Phantasy Star Zero, if you haven't seen it before. It was a DS game released in about 2008, 2009. And you can still play it online by methods that you will have to go and look on the Zero Discord for. Yeah, also, what was that freeze trap? It felt like it spawned a lot of traps here. Man, we had that one in, was it was in Tower, was it? Or was it Arcaplant? Where we had a room that had about 8 confused traps in it. They really want you to use the trap visions. But yeah, if you haven't played Zero before, particularly if you're a PSO player, I would thoroughly recommend playing it. Because, like I mentioned a bit earlier, it does link, sort of, story-wise. And it does feel a bit like almost like a spin-off of PSO. There are definitely similarities with the way it plays. If nothing else is close to PSO, yeah, I'd probably agree with that, yeah. I mean, if you think at the time, this released about the same time as the PSP games. They're obviously quite a bit away from PSO. I think they're more aligned with games like PSU. I guess they're based in the PSU system, so it makes sense. Yeah, the gameplay mechanics are pretty similar as well. I do really like in this, though, how they managed to get photon art into the game. Because obviously you have such a limited palette space in this. It's kind of hard to be able to use everything you want to use. So the way that they actually let you use photon art in this, I think, is quite clever. They were working with a very, very limited system for the most part. And I'm kind of surprised they even got the ability to use photon art in this. Again, for those who haven't seen, the way you do it is just by holding attack. So I can hold a technique and that will make it act differently. Or I can hold an attack, and after the normal attack's done, it will charge a photon art. I mean, I guess as well, I suppose the art style is maybe a bit more similar to PSO than some other games. At the end of the day, PSO has, a fairly cartoon-like art style. It's like a very exaggerated art style. This is probably a bit more similar compared to the other Phantasy Star games, anyway. I'm guessing we got this way first. Hasn't been anything new since NGS. I don't think so. So NGS was 2021. I would expect NGS to go on for at least another couple of years, yes, at least. I'm not saying they wouldn't release anything else while NGS is around, but I very much doubt they would release any online Phantasy Star games while NGS is in. Because it just doesn't make sense. I suppose what you have to think of is the Phantasy Star franchise is, as much as we'd like it to be like incredibly popular, it is still fairly niche. Yes, it's probably more popular in Japan, but even then it is a relatively small franchise. Gotta play more of this for retro achievements. Game looks like a good time. I just get turned off by having dialogue options where the characters go, "Oh, you pick wrong," and get mad at you. It's my least favourite part of games when I have to deal with actual social situations. Oh, it dropped to like 10 FPS there. I think what I think when this released, obviously you basically have the choice of this or the portable games on the PSP. They're very, very different propositions, and they cater to very different styles of game and play style as well. So I think they did kind of cover their bases pretty well. Although I do still find it weird that they had essentially two competing games. I suppose they're on totally different systems, so it didn't matter as much. You hate when there's relationship systems in RPGs. Yeah, I always forget there's different endings as well. I should probably do this more and actually get the other endings. Yeah, so this area, I mentioned it a bit earlier, but not all the areas have bosses. So this area, you just fight a load of these guys. Who you apparently can't attack until they've finished doing their show-off move at the start. Again, some of us are quite over-leveled for this, so it will go fairly quickly. Yeah, again, that is not normally that easy. Yeah, very, very cool game, though. It's a game that I don't find myself wanting to play like very regularly, but it's a game I like coming back to every so often and just doing a few runs through. Does this do the same thing as PSP2 Infinity where I need to pick the right dialogue options or else I get locked into the bad ending? I can't remember the specifics of it, but I know that the ending can be influenced by dialogue choices. I feel you on PSP2 Infinity though. It's the same with PSP2 as well. Yeah, where you have to pick the right options. I think in PSP2, I think it matters on your actual ranks for the story quests as well. In Zero, it's just the one scene after the story's over. Okay, fair enough. That's not too bad. You can also redo the quest with the choices to get the better endings, yeah. It's not so bad if you can go back into the quests and then redo them to get the right choices or the right rewards. I hate it when you've got games where you have to just redo the game. You have to replay the whole game to do so in PSP1. Yeah, PSP1's a weird game. I really, really enjoyed the story for it. Yeah, I remember getting the True Vivienne ending as well. That was, yeah. It took a bit of work. I really like the story in PSP1, but the actual game, I didn't really play it a huge amount just because it just felt like a cut down PSU, which is kind of what it was. But the story was really cool. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's basically PSU on a handheld, but with a new story. I mean, it's better than PSU's story because it doesn't have Ethan. Or if he is in it, it's like minor role. Obviously, Falcon's mainly on Vivienne. Alright, what haven't we done? We haven't done the dragon, have we? I guess I could do the dragon. It was PSU made portable, but then they really explored nicely with PSP2. Yeah, PSP2 felt like they took all the best parts of PSU and then improved upon it. It's such a good game. Even base game PSP2 is really good. And I've said it several times, but Infinity is still one of the best Phantasy Star games as far as I'm concerned. There is so much to do in that game. I think for me it is probably Phantasy Star 4, PSO, and then Infinity. The best thing I can say about Ethan is that it's funny sometimes how stupid he is. Yeah, pretty much. For what it's worth, I don't think many people like Ethan. That's putting it mildly. I mean, he's essentially John PSU. He's the Naruto of video games. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Ethan, and I don't think many people are. Do you know what? I totally forgot about that scene, Juniper. Hey, Zensi, good to see you. You'd take Ethan any day over Hugo. Hugo's a weird one. Like, he starts out incredibly uncool. Like, I think PSU Hugo is horrendous. He does appear again in the portable games, and he is slightly more interesting. For those of us who haven't touched the game, what do you not like about him? Basically, imagine the most generic as possible RPG protagonist, and then take away any personality they may have had, and that's kind of Ethan. Now, add to the fact that in the first episode of PSU, you're forced to play as him. Because for the first episode in PSU, you had to play as Ethan. You didn't use your own character. Your own character was only for... There was like an offline extra mode where you could make your own character. And then for the later episodes of story. So for like the expansion onwards, you then use your own character. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's basically like the stereotypical shonen protag, pretty much. God, Jack killed that before I even got to it. I mean, I would still say if you haven't played PSU, it's probably still worth going through the story once to see it. But I can guarantee you that you probably won't have strong feelings for Ethan at the end of it. Ethan is pretty inoffensive, though I haven't played Ambition the Illuminous. PSU is very campy. It is very campy. Hey, free skipped all. This is hard mode at the minute, Zensi, just because one of our parties just under super hard level, so we're just helping them level a bit. Literally has the Saturday morning cartoon opener and closer every chapter. Yeah, pretty much. I will say it has been a long time since I played the first episode of PSU, so I have probably forgotten a lot of it. I love the opening song in PSU in spite of it being so campy. Yeah, the opening theme to PSU, yeah. With the whole, it's called Starship Earth. That is like the one line of that song that really sticks out to me. Also, thank you for the follow, looking modder. Yeah, I always find it very weird that the song says it's called Starship Earth, despite the fact that the game does not take place on Earth. And also thank you for the follow, Cloud Trekker, as well. How often do I stream Zero? It's probably one of my least streamed games. I probably play it, I would say, maybe once every 2 months or so. Well, I would say once every 1 to 2 months anyway. So what I tend to do, Zensi, is, so I stream twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. My Wednesday streams are normally not Phantasy Star related now. The Sunday streams are usually a Phantasy Star game, but I tend to sort of bounce between the different games. So 1 week it'll be PSO, 1 week it'll be PSU, 1 week it'll be this. I just kind of alternate between them. Stun Cortana. Isn't Cortana a Pokemon? Just like anything else, if you expect PSO, I can see how it'd be off-putting, but expecting nothing, it's kind of cute. Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I do like PSU. I was one of the people back then when PSU got a lot of sick when it released because people really did not take to it when it released. I didn't mind it. I did stick with it. I like PSU for the most part, but I think the story is not a strong point of it, personally. I mean, if you want just like a campy story, then fair enough. That was very dirty. I guess I'll just stand here burning then, cool. PSU's story was pretty generic, and then it tried a lot of mechanics and systems, some of which were fine, some of which were not, yeah. Chief of which was not fine was the grinding. I know I say it every single time we talk about PSU, but there was no excuse for that grinding system. Like, seriously, what were they thinking of? Even in the expansion, I mean, I know they lessened the impact of it in the expansion, but it was still bad. That's exactly what I was thinking of, yeah. I think anyone who played PSU back in the day probably has, like, very traumatic memories of that grinding system. It was GC, right? So pay to repair weapons. So in Ambition of the Illuminous on the Sega servers, it was, you know, the system they've got in Clementine where if you fail a grind, it just drops the maximum grind of the weapon. It was just that. That's how it was when Ambition of the Illuminous launched. I don't think there was any way of repairing your weapon. Maybe there was right at the end. I can't remember the specifics of it right near the end of the live servers. Obviously, the Japanese servers were a very different thing to the Western ones as well. But I know when Ambition of the Illuminous launched, there was definitely no way of you repairing your weapon then. You just lost one maximum grind on it instead. But it's kind of funny that we were kind of happy about that at the time just because it meant your weapon didn't break completely. But playing through the story, I looked at it and said, so this is awful and should never use it. Chat, yep. Yeah, I think I did the story PSU once, like back when it released, and that was it. I never touched it again. I think that the portable games do a lot better job with the story, for the most part. So giant hub world. We were talking about this earlier. So I actually didn't mind the way the hub world worked. In theory, I mean, I like the idea of sort of completing a mission, arriving at somewhere new. Like for the first time, it was quite cool. You know, particularly if you did a mission, then you came to one of the end lobbies, you know, like the hot springs lobbies or the beach lobby or something. Like doing a mission to get to there was really cool. But it did kind of feel irrelevant after a bit because eventually you unlock the ability to just teleport to the lobbies anywhere. I think once you've been to them once, you could just teleport them anywhere. So I don't know, it was an interesting system. I didn't mind it personally. It was annoying though if you were playing with friends and they were in some lobby you'd never been to, and you had to do like 4 missions to get to them. I guess NGS is kind of like it, but not exactly. I guess it's a bit different with NGS because I suppose for most of the quests in NGS you just take them from a quest counter anywhere. You know, even the urgent quest, I know you can go to the location of the urgent quest and activate it from there, but you can also just do it from a quest counter, so it kind of feels redundant. You could use special flight, exactly, yeah. I suppose that would make it easier. I always forget there was the special flight option as well. Do you get what I mean though? It kind of made the whole system a bit redundant because, yeah, you had this cool system where you would travel through the different areas to find new lobbies, which, again, for the first time, finding the lobbies I think was kind of interesting. Because that let you discover the world for yourself, which was kind of cool. But then once you've done it once, you just teleport to the lobbies anywhere, so you just never then engage with it again. There was also another little problem with it though as well, which was particularly once the game was kind of falling off a bit, you know, once the population was dropping, it essentially split up the population a lot. I mean, I guess it didn't matter too much for the expansion because everyone was just running White Beast over and over again anyway, so everyone was in the Pavilion of Air. I swear, White Beast was like the TTF of PSU. That's all I did for like months on retail. It was a real problem with PSA, yeah. I think it was just because White Beast was just way better than most of the quests to do for, you know, for experience and everything, so people just spam the hell out of it. In the same way that people spam the hell out of TEF. Congrats on the level. I know that looked like it was me leveling, but it wasn't. I will say though, I think for the most part I had a really fun time with PSU. It did feel refreshing after PSO because it did feel so different. Unfortunately, I think that was a big problem for a lot of people. A lot of people just wanted another PSO game. Which I get. The thing is, I think they would have learned that, you know, after we got PSO Episode 3. And then we got Blue Burst anyway, so, you know, they had another PSO with Blue Burst. Like, how many more did they want? Mag event was fun, but also destroyed PSU and retail. The experience was so good, yeah. Yeah, some of the events were kind of busted. Yeah, I remember running, was it the 1-Up Cup as well? I'm still convinced that this is one of the only dragons that's actually dangerous in Phantasy Star. I mean, it won't be this one because it's hard mode. But in super hard, he's actually dangerous. And on a new character. Yeah, we may be slightly over-leveled. Poor guy. You were doing 1000 damage with a Photon Art Shield on headshots. Yeah, possibly slightly over-leveled. He did also die in mid-air. Yeah, I noticed that. Did you know that Alucard is Dracula backwards? Oh, you leveled. A nice one. Yeah, hard mode's actually good for leveling, isn't it? Because I guess the experience isn't too much low and you kill things really fast anyway, so it kind of works out. And you still get 4 drops for doing it as well. I guess super hard is more for like red drop hunting, isn't it, I suppose? So I've got time for, I think, 1 or 2 more, depends how long it takes. Is there anything we haven't done? Oh, we haven't done this area, have we? I don't think. You're gonna head out. Oh, no worries, Zil. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I think it is just this cave one, isn't it? We haven't done. So I guess we could do that. But yeah, thanks for the game, Zil. Let's do Cave Shadows because it'll be a bit longer. Yes, the person who was asking about the game earlier, we basically showed every area in the game in the stream now, so... There's not a huge amount of areas in the game, but there's enough to sort of keep you playing. I do like this area as well. I think it looks kind of cool. I guess that is one cool thing about the game is that although it doesn't have that many areas in total, they are all very, very different. It doesn't feel like you're running through the same areas over and over again. Which I think that was kind of a problem with PSU. I know PSU had a lot of different biomes, but there were a lot of areas in PSU that kind of felt the same as each other. The game bats as enemies. Am I the only one who finds bats cute? I like bats. But to be fair, they are attacking me. Yeah, where I live at the minute, sometimes during the summer we get bats roosting in some of the houses nearby. Sometimes you can kind of see them hanging under the eaves of the houses. You just hope they don't get inside, because if they do, you're not allowed to remove them. It's actually against the law to remove them. I still think those mole enemies look very suspiciously similar to boomers as well. I know there are technically boomers in this game, but they are boomer adjacent. Which probably sounds very weird to anyone who hasn't played PSO. Yeah, bats can carry rabies. Oh, they can, yeah, for sure. The moles are even cuter. Yeah, Phantasy Star Zero, a cute game where you just murder lots of innocent animals. If you like the moles, this isn't going to be a good room for you, by the way. Because it's the only enemies in here. The ton for farming room. It is kind of weird, isn't it, that you always get this room when you run through? But normally these sort of intermission rooms, you tend to find with these areas that they normally have one area, then a room that is different to that usually has no enemies, and then that links to like the second appearance of the area. But for some reason here, you always get this room and it's always full of enemies. To be fair, all the enemies in Zero are made by Mother specifically to harm people. See, so we have a reason. Also, if we're talking enemies as well, I should point out that this is the first game that has like the type of rappies that appear in NGS. So, you know, the little rappies with the big heads. Oh, you got one of the 4-star Tompas, nice. Yes, like the sort of the current rappy design. That originates from this game. They are quite rare though. Okay, so I guess we're just getting no enemies in that room, fair enough. Also, I'm going to say it, but you know, these are suspiciously similar to the Gorongos in PSO2. I'm not saying the Gorongos were inspired by them, but I'm not saying they're not. I don't know if we can get the Rappy Nests in Quest, but this cave area does have Rappy Nests, okay. I know I've definitely seen Rappies in here before. I don't think it was a nest though, I think it was just a room that had them. If you're wondering why I'm not picking up most of the red boxes, it's because a lot of them are actually really common weapons. It's a bit like PSO in that there is a lot of items that the game considers rare that are actually drop all the time. There's always a mob room before the transition room though. Yes, I suppose in this area we had the room with all the moles before the transition room. I find the whole transition room thing a bit weird. You're essentially just putting an empty room in the map for not really much reason. I guess it's so that you see the transition from one area to the other. I guess it's just more of a visual thing, I suppose. Same with these Arquebus armors, they're really common. Might have also been because the story mode dialogue cuts. Ah, possibly, yeah. I don't know if story mode uses like its own map types or... I mean, I would assume it has fixed map layouts for story, but... Story definitely has its own maps. Yeah, 3 times bigger than anything else in the game. It definitely felt that way when I was doing story. Oops, skipped alt. Yeah, it could just be like a visual thing, you know. They basically give you a room to, I guess, show you the transition between the two areas. if you full clear every room in story versus story clear with minimum fighting, you'll notice a massive experience difference. Yeah, honestly, I can't remember what level I was when I finished story. I would assume maybe somewhere around 20-ish. Yeah. Yeah, 20 something would make sense, I guess. If you rush, you might do sub 200. I like that typo. Yeah, I would hope that you're under 200 by the time you finish story. Particularly as this doesn't go to 200 as well. Yeah, sub 20 sounds about right. I think I was around 20, I want to say. I remember it being a pain. I remember the final boss was pretty tough. You're really just going to stand there on the trap. I can't seem to get many weapon drops from this. Yeah, the experience is pretty good though. I mean, I've leveled once at level 85, so you know, cannot complain. I think you got like 5 levels. If it helps, I'm glad to hear it. What's weird is, every time I step in this boss portal, for some reason, Pika never shows up as being in the boss portal, they're like behind it. But it warps fine. I'm guessing it's like a desync thing. It's kind of funny actually doing this room now, because this room kind of reminds me of the current LTQ and NGS. Because these spinning guys, like literally the first spawn in the quest, I think it is. You just get spammed with them. Yeah, Adrian, so this is kind of like the boss room of this area, so this area doesn't have an actual boss. You just fight loads of these guys, which are actually quite annoying. Oh, we got a rare one. Yeah, so there are rare enemies in this game as well. You can also get boosted enemies in this as well, so occasionally you'll see, I don't think we've got any at the minute, but you occasionally see enemies that have white shadows instead of black shadows, and they have boosted stats. I believe they can also drop different things as well. So it's the kind of game where you can totally play this as a really casual game if you want to, but you can also commit a lot of time to it and grind for some really rare stuff if you want to as well. Again, if you want to try and find this game, it was a DS game. There's tons of rare enemy rates. There's loads, isn't there, in this? The RNG got super high when you need a boosted rare mob, yeah. And then it'll probably still have a terrible drop rate. Because there are some things in this game that are like PSO rare. I know Drax's been trying to find a Psycho Wand. They've got, there's loads of rare enemies, there's rare areas. You know, there's like the arena that can spawn. There's a ton of different things that can happen. There's, I believe there's a cake shop. I don't think I've ever seen it, but... more importantly, there is cats you can pet. You love your 0.00003% drops from a boosted rare mob. Nice. Do you have any pets? I do not at the minute. That is because one of the people I'm living with is very allergic to them, so I can't. I am in the process of looking for a place at the minute, though, so once I move, I'm hoping to get a cat. Even the SGS equivalent here is from a rare enemy, and it's an insane drop rate too. I'm gonna say it again, but she looks suspiciously similar to Sue. It's kind of funny. I was never really a cat person, and then my younger brother had 2 cats for a few years, and the first time I went to see him, I just fell in love with them, and ever since then, I've wanted to get a cat. We used to always have a dog when I was younger, but the problem is for me now because I work full time outside of streaming, so it's a bit difficult to have a dog when you work full time. Yeah, I'm still gonna say this is Sue. She's very Sue coded. Been taking care of a cat recently, and the dude lets you pet their belly and throw them around. Dude just does not care. I kind of feel with cats, it's like one or the other. They either like really, really needy and will like constantly want petting, or they just don't care about you at all. My dad was not a cat person until I brought my cat to live with us. Yeah, I mentioned this before, my brother's 2 cats, they were both, it was 2 black cats that were brothers, and they were called Oodles and Doodles. That was the names from the shelter as well. Like, he didn't rename them, that was just what they were named. You want an orange cat? Orange cats are very special. I don't know what it is about orange cats. They're a vibe for sure. They are very dumb. I love them. Yeah, I don't know what it is about orange cats. It just seems to be a thing with them. If you see a cat doing something stupid, it's always an orange cat. So I'm just thinking, do we do one more or do we end there? And we have done literally every area. You can do one more, okay. Do you have a preference for area?
One more.
Oh, there we go. You have a goofy ass orange cat and I'm cracking up. So the prophecy is true then. Shrine for peak experience. Yeah, we can do that. I'll do the short one this time just because it's quite close to stream end time, so we'll do that one. Yeah, I do really, really want a cat. It's just that at the minute I cannot get one because, like I say, someone that I live with at the minute is very, very allergic to them. So it would not be fair on them at all. Yeah, so we'll do this last one, then we'll probably end after that, I think. I was trying to think like what the dog equivalent of a dumb orange cat would be. It's probably a Labrador. I'm saying that because I used to have a Labrador when I was younger. Didn't realize the community make compatible servers for Zero. So it's not a server as such, because Zero is essentially like peer-to-peer more or less. There is basically a way you can do it through emulation, or you can do it through original hardware as well. But there is a way of basically configuring to be able to play online. If you want to do it, the easiest way to do it is probably to look for, if you're on Discord, there is a Phantasy Star Zero Discord. And they will have instructions on there how to do it. There's obviously not many people on it, like playing regularly, I would say, but you can still play multiplayer. Obviously, it's easy for me because I just play with people who hang out in the chat anyway, so... But yes, you can still play multiplayer. Good to see you, Revo, as well. We'll be ending the stream after this run, but yeah, we've done basically every area in the game this stream, so... I don't like that that big guy's camping right next to the missile launcher. Yeah, I should say as well, because I'm terrible at promoting this, but I do have my own Discord as well, so feel free to join that as well if you haven't. I think on YouTube there should be a link to it in the description, I think. Yeah, I'm very, very bad at promoting my own stuff, so... Picowood has a nice launcher. It looks pretty cool, yeah. I'm a big fan of purple, so yeah, I approve of that. I have no idea if it's actually good, but I'm here for it. You want an orange cat and a Shiba? Honestly, that sounds like chaos. Discord link is in the description. Good. That's good to know. If for any reason it doesn't work, let me know and I'll put a new link in. I think it was a link that doesn't expire, so hopefully it still works. I should say as well, we do play other Phantasy Star games as well, so if you like Phantasy Star in general, I probably play it. And midweek streams we do other games, so we don't just play Phantasy Star. So recently we've been going through Front Mission 3. So I'm getting towards the end of that, so I think next couple of weeks that should be done, I think. And then moving on to something else, which I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be Chrono Trigger or another RPG. That's a really short run, isn't it? I didn't realise how short this is. I guess it's good for farming fowls, though, I suppose. still really don't like this boss. I don't think I ever will. Right, so which one is the... Okay, so you're the tech one. Okay. Try and take out the tech one because I feel that's one of the more dangerous ones. Okay, so you're melee, so you must be the range one, I'm guessing. I'm pretty sure that guy just like multi-hit me. I also love with this boss how one of its most dangerous attacks is I'm just going to smash my face into the floor. God, the hitbox is killing me there. Oh, as soon as I get in range, she does this attack and I have to run away again. Okay, I do not have a Photon Blast, so I can't do the invincibility trick, unfortunately. Again, for those who don't know, if you hit a Photon Blast at the right time, as Mother Trinity's dying, you can actually make yourself completely invulnerable for this fight. Provided you don't dodge roll. If you dodge roll, it ends. But you need a full Photon Blast to be able to do it. I've seen Drak hit 700 damage. Still definitely one of the least impressive Dark Falls fights in Phantasy Star for sure. That is not a highlight. No Shifter as Aluit and still did 700 damage. Yeah, HUcast's OP. Oh, is the shield cast only as well? Okay. Just to make them even more broken. It's great even on Ranger casts. Yeah, shield seems really good in this. I've only played around with it a little bit, but it does seem really good. I guess with HUcast attack power, yeah. I don't know what it is about HUcast. I mean, obviously it's busted in PSO as well. I still don't know in PSO why they decided to make HUcast so much stronger than every other hunter. It's not even close. You have 1,263 attack power with Milius Breaker. How does that compare to me? So if I equip sword, yeah, I have 1,051 with a really strong sword. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I think we will probably end things there for today. So for Zero, I normally stream it about once every, I would say maybe once a month or so, usually on a Sunday stream, because we do alternate between the different Phantasy Star games. Next Sunday, I don't know which game it'll be yet. I need to see what the boost events are on the different games, based on that. On Wednesday, we'll be doing some more from Mission 3. We may finish the game next stream. If not, it might be the stream after. I know there isn't much left. There is a video that's just gone live recently as well, if you haven't seen it already, which is an NGS video looking at different creator spaces. But yeah, next stream will be on Wednesday from Mission 3, and then Phantasy Star streams will come back on Sunday. So whatever you're doing, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for some from Mission 3. Again, thank you for all the support this stream as well. Thank you for the raid from Dali earlier as well. Yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great time, and I'll see you on Wednesday for from Mission 3. See you guys. Is Pizza live at the minute? Let's see. Pizza is live, yeah. Okay, we can rip Pizza Med then. That sounds good. So I will send you guys over to Pizza Med, who is another Phantasy Star content creator. If you haven't seen her already, I did a collab with her fairly recently, and I will end the stream once I've sent the raid over. So yeah, see you guys on Wednesday. Oh yeah, go on, I'll give you the before I leave. There you go. There's a Squidward to say you're out. See you guys.